out with, I don't really like go through my DMs and say yes to every guy who asks me on a date. It's more, we had a physical interaction and I enjoyed our conversation. I thought you were cute and I would like to get to know you better. Maybe we have similar hobbies, similar passions.
But then what?
What do you mean, but then what?
What is it? What is it? They're making a mountain out of a molehill. Is that the term, or did I just George Bush that?
Well, it's the guy who they're coming to you. They're asking you out. So there's like the expectation that he's going to pay or whatever. Sorry,
Well, it's not even that's what I'm saying. You're just saying, you're making it very clear for us to remember that in this scenario, the guy works a grueling job and he's giving up 2.5 hours. I mean, it's not like he's getting, I think it's a worth it trade. It's just like my ultimate claim.
Of course you do. What's up, y'all? Welcome to Exhausted Truth, where I am your host and I'm very exhausted from always having to tell the goddamn truth. But hey, someone's got to do it. All right, hey, look, I don't know. I don't even know what's going on in this video. I don't know. We are just going to get it started. And then we're going to go from there.
even less. If you want a guy to pay for the first date, let's say it's reasonable that on the first date, the total check cost is $100. That's not like a super fancy place. That's mid-tier place, drinks, appetizer, main course, dessert, tip. A guy's paying $100 on the first date. Half of that he's paying for you. We're not going to count his half that he's paying for himself. If a guy is going to spend $50 for you, 100 total, but 50 for you, and he makes $20 an hour, you're asking him to work 2.5 hours to take you on the date. And let's say he works a physically demanding job.
Yeah.
Let's say he's a laborer. Let's say he's digging ditches. Let's say he's
I swear to God, bro. I swear, when I look in the women on these panels, half the time, or more than half the time, I'm not gonna say all of them, but most of the time, there is just not a care in the world in their eyes, right? When you start talking about the struggles of men, there is not a care in the goddamn world in their eyes. And most of their eyes are soulless. Or look at this one right here. She look angry. She looks like she's staring right through your ass.
lift. He's moving.
Burning through the witches.
He's a mover, and he moves heavy objects, whatever it is. Makes $20 an hour. You guys are asking a guy to take you on a date. 2.5 hours of work. So think about that.
Are you saying that's like a ludicrous claim though? Or like,
What do you mean?
Do you think that that's not an equal exchange? Because if this guy clearly is attracted to you, wants to get to know you better, you don't think that's a fair trade-off?
Well, here's the thing. It could be a fair trade-off if what he was getting in return was of any value. Then sure. But most of the bitches on this panel, their personalities ain't shit. Their character isn't shit. So no, and then you have the nerve to not have any character, have no charisma, and then use your sex appeal to get these men attracted and to get them to want to spend the money on these dates. And then what do they get out of it? They don't even get the one thing they really wanted, which was the coochie. Because if they could have gotten a good personality and had a good time, then maybe the coochie would be like, you know what, I can wait 2 or 3 dates for that because she's cool as fuck. I like hanging out with her. But that's not what men are getting. Men are getting these fucking these no charisma, no character having bitches that you rely on their sex appeal to get the shit they want. And then when you ask, or then in return, when you like, well, let me get some of what comes with that sex appeal. They're like, oh my God, you have some nerve. What the fuck, dude? Like, let's see where she goes.
2.5 hours of labor for the 2 hours of your time, for example.
Well, that's another power dynamic that happens to exist that benefits women. I typically think when it comes to relationships of any kind, whether it's friendships, dating, or business, the person who's doing the reaching out versus the person who's like receiving the offer has way more leverage, and they have the power and they can set the terms.
Right.
So, but essentially you're saying, well, it's the guy who they're coming to you, they're asking you out. So there's like the expectation that he's going to pay or whatever. Sorry,
well, it's not even that's what I'm saying. You're just saying, you're making it very clear for us to remember that in this scenario, the guy works a grueling job and he's giving up 2.5 hours of that grueling job to go on this date. But to me, if I say yes to a guy going on a date, I am obviously physically attracted to him, and You know, I try to be very present and engaging when I go out with people.
Sure.
I like to get to know them. I don't know, you know, maybe some girls, I actually know for a fact, yeah, some girls do use guys just to get the free meal or whatever, but that's not what I would.
I'm bored listening to her already. I'm already bored listening to her, and you expect me to pay 2.5 hours of grueling labor's worth of fucking income on this? This is what you're offering? I try to be engaging. You're trying to be as valuable as possible all of a sudden. Not a shot in hell I believe anything she's saying, right? But let's say that's the case, right? Let's say she's actually trying and committing to being some value to this man. So if that's the case, then she should already understand that what he's putting out is way more valuable than what you're putting out. So you got to try to up the ante. I got to try to be charismatic. I want it because I know he's sacrificing a lot. Or you have no idea what Brian's saying, and you just heard him say that, and now you're trying to pretend that you understand where he's coming from, and then you're trying to big yourself up. And listen to her talk. There's not a shot in hell I believe she's got a fucking personality.
I guess offer to the date, I would have an engaging conversation, and you know what I mean. It's not like he's getting. I think it's a worth it trade. It's just like my ultimate claim.
Of course you do.
His 2.5 hours of labor for that date. I feel like that's a fair exchange, no?
But is it a fair exchange?
No.
Both of you are putting in the time. Whatever amount of time you spend on the date, like there on the actual date, he also spends said time on the date. So then you're getting into a bit of a transactional territory there.
What about the time it took to get prepared for the date?
That's true.
It takes you 2.5 hours to.
Yeah,
Some
yes,
days.
it does.
Well,
I was
from
waiting
my
for it.
perspective, I know some guys are maybe have a different perspective. I'm not a big fan of makeup, so.
It doesn't always have to necessarily be makeup.
Okay,
either.
fine. You gotta shave your legs. You're gonna do your
Finding the
hair.
fit.
Yeah.
You're gonna do your hair. Does that really take 2.5 hours?
Sometimes.
if-
The bitch is barely wearing any clothes is going to have the nerve to talk about finding the fit. Her fit is just whatever shows her shit, and that's the fit. If it shows off whatever can show off most of her body without being actually nude, she's good to go. And then she's going to lock in some suckers.
If I go on a first date with a girl and I give her a no makeup pass, I say, you don't have to wear makeup on this date. You can do the other shit that you do to get ready. Is that how?
Sometimes finding
What
the
do you
outfit,
really-
doing the hair, taking the shower.
I give you a outfit pass too. Wear some sweatpants and
They're going to turn the easiest shit in the world to like, and they're what is it? What is it? They're making a mountain out of a molehill. Is that the term, or did I just George Bush that?
a hoodie
T-shirt.
Then where are we
or
going?
t-shirt.
Yeah, then where are we going?
But he's just a typical guy.
What are you wearing?
I'm like, this is not.
Okay, so-
That's not.
So to consider, like, the point of dating, like the idea of dating is what? You want to have some time to get to know this person. Why? Just for the hell of it?
No, I would assume if you're going out with, I don't really like go through my DMs and say yes to every guy who asks me on a date. It's more we had a physical interaction and I enjoyed our conversation. I thought you were cute and I would like to get to know you better. Maybe we have similar hobbies, similar passions.
But then what?
What do you mean? But
say
then what?
say like you have similar hobbies, similar passions. You guys are like cut out for one another, and then what? Like what happens after that?
Well,
Like, the date?
I do date intentionally. I have my fun. I've made that clear, you know, as in Italy, whatever. I have my fun, but when I choose to be in a relationship with someone, it's because I see a future with them. And, you know, I could see us, yeah, I'm thinking way down the line, but yeah, I could maybe see us getting married, maybe having kids if, you know, things keep going according to plan and we continue vibing with each other and we're compatible. So I don't know. Yeah, we would just keep going out. I don't have a particular timeline. I think that it's different in every relationship that you're in.
Do you think that the guy who really wants to be with you gives a shit about your outfit or like?
Well,
your
I'll be
makeup?
honest, like, and you know, lots of people have different opinions on this, but I'm a very look good, feel good, do good type of person. So when I'm done up, like I'm wearing a cute outfit, I have my makeup on, I feel good about myself and I feel like it sets me off on the right tone to.
Do you guys think that's her true skin color? I feel like if you put some water on her, that shit would just start to drip off. I feel like it would just start to, just orange would just start to bead off of her.
Take on my day. So it's honestly not even really about them. I do it for me, but at the same time, I'm not going to say, oh, I don't care what they think. Obviously, like I want them to think I look good and whatever, but it's deeper.
So just to bring it back to the vow though, because that's where this conversation stemmed from, is the reason I was bringing up, okay, men, if you want a guy to pay for the first date, the entailment of that is he's going to have to work X amount of hours in order to be able to afford the date. That kind of seems like a bigger, well, it's not that it just seems, it is a bigger ask than a woman bowing.
Okay.
So you guys place this much bigger ask, but then you scoff at this idea of doing a completely effortless bow. Like imagine here, let me try to do a role reversal here. Imagine if it was the case, and look, I realize some people go 50-50, but I think generally speaking, even women who are like more, like she claims to be 50-50 or whatever, but like you can still as a woman go into a date and there will still be guys who will pay for your meal. And like, even if, despite your own wants of 50-50.
I have a question.
Just one sec, but I'll get to it. So my question is, if there was a reversal and I, as the guy, said, in order for you to go on a date with me, you need to pay for the date. You need to work, however much time it takes you to earn
Bless you.
$50.
Yeah.
You need to work that much before you go on a date with me.
Yeah, well, I think you're kind of just calling attention to the gender roles that this society has kind of enforced our whole life, which is men being the provider and protector. So
But what do men get? So that leads to kind of the bigger picture here is
they get to go on a date with an attractive girl.
What duties do women have to men? What do men get out of them being traditional? Like, what do we get out of that?
Well, I feel that your question is more focused on long-term relationships because you are focused more on the traditional things such as caretaking and housekeeping that maybe aren't going to happen on your first date unless you invite the girl over to go do your laundry and clean your underwear, or bowing, for example. I think you're trying to equate these two things that are different because, let's say, you're kind of hyper focusing on how men have to put this monetary and financial value down to go on a date with a woman, and all a woman has to do is bow. But obviously one of these things is related to money. One of these things is almost related to respect and some sort of power play, because I think some women might not want to bow to you because, yes, again, it's just reinforcing this submissive version of themselves. Like they're being submissive to you when they bow to you, and that may not be every woman's cup of tea. I don't know. I feel like they're not necessarily equal. I'm sorry if that wasn't super clear. I'm still figuring my own thoughts out.
Not equal.
There you go. That's what you're paying for. You're paying to have a conversation with a woman. At the end of the date, she goes, "Thank you for paying for the date. I'm sorry the conversation wasn't good. I was still trying to figure out my thoughts." Because I don't need to even say anything anymore. I called her being a fucking dud the second she started talking, and I was proven right before the end of this video. And if that seems harsh, I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you, because if they fail to admit that it's not a fair trade-off, right? Now, again, if you were to give them a good time and it was like, if you can find a way to make it seem worth it to that specific man, then fine. I don't care, right? But the problem is most men are out here are paying for these dates and not feeling like they're getting an even trade, right? And some women are asking, well, what the fuck you want me to do? Well, you could either up the ante or you could start helping paying for some of these goddamn dates. One or the other. But this whole thing of, well, you're paying to get to know me. Oh, I'm sorry. And that, what's funny is the rest of the relationship will go that same way too. The rest of the relationship, you will always be paying just to be in her presence. So if you think it's just the first date, you fucking sorely mistaken.
Like the bow is not worse, but it's
I feel like you're
more?
trying to equate money with the bowing, and the bowing I think is more nuanced than something as simple as, okay, 2 hours of labor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that that's simple necessarily. What it is, in the grand scheme of things, it's simple, but it's far less simple than a woman simply doing a bow.
Right.
It's super easy. It doesn't cost you anything. Anybody
Yeah.
can do it.
Okay, I see where you're coming from. I think that in society, men paying for dates is more common than women bowing to
Yes,
men.
I agree.
So I think for that reason,
Right. So I think you're stuck on
don't
the
know.
cultural
I am. I'm trying to wrap my head around
oddness
it.
of it.
Yeah.
If there was some other thing though that is more of a cultural norm,
Right.
but does manifest itself through female submissiveness,
Yeah.
what would that be?
I'm trying to think of an example. Do you ladies have any
How about this?
examples?
Making a sandwich.
How about this? This may not occur on
Not a thought between all of them. Not one thought between them.
the first date.
Well, you know, it
But-
depends on how you define thought.
Maybe?
Yeah, so it's maybe the first time she's coming over to the house ever, whether that's the second date, third date,
Yeah.
further down, whatever it is. And I ask her, well, I'd hope she just took it upon herself to do this. I mean, it could be the laundry. Women should just walk into the laundry room. I'm telling you, ladies, I know you're going to fucking hate this. I know the feminist mind virus has plagued you. The first time you go to a dude's house, don't rush to his bedroom. Rush to his laundry room.
You don't think some men would find that odd?
They
I think
would
I
find
would find
it-
it odd, and
they
I
would
am
find
a
it
woman,
odd
so what do
in
I
the
know?
sense-
But
They would find it odd in the sense that they've never had that experience, and it would be kind of perhaps could be deemed quirky. But how could it? I don't think most men are going to view it as a negative. If you were like, "Oh, hey, oh, nice place. Give me the. Where's your laundry room? Do you have any laundry I
yeah,
can
could I do a load for you really quick?
Yeah, perfect.
Is that a green
Instead of
flag?
taking a load
That's a good.
Do
That is
a
a green
load
flag. I would
of
say that's a green
laundry,
flag.
instead of taking a load,
Interesting.
do a load of laundry.
I
'Cause
think-
look, a lot of girls are willing to take a load.
True.
Not as many women are willing to do a
Yeah.
load
Put that on a shirt.
of laundry.
Patent that. Patent that.
Really quick,
I think, look, you gotta, especially if you're dealing with a guy who has a lot of options, you gotta set yourself apart because pussy, a guy who's attractive like that, that's not gonna make you stand out. Like that, you gotta bring more to the table than just sex.
Yeah.
And so how are
A
you gonna
big
do
labia won't do it for you. What if
Big
she has like the
labia-
fattest labia you've ever seen, but she's not gonna
Guinness-
do your laundry?
that? Guinness World, it has to be.
Guinness
she would
World
have to have-
Record breaking, like the
That's the video. Sometimes I don't know what I'm even watching. I don't know why I do this. I really don't sometimes. I don't know why people even, if you watch this, I don't know what's wrong with y'all either. Good Lord. What the fuck are we doing with our lives? That's the end of the video. She doesn't even, her jokes don't even land. I don't know what you want from me, man. Listen, if she thinks her presence is worth 2 hours, 2.5, 3 hours, whatever, of hard labor, oh boy. But here's the thing, man. We live in a culture, we live in society where, especially with things like, and I hate, God, it's so cliche to bring up, but things like with OnlyFans and shit, man, there are so many women that think their presence is far more valuable than it really is, because there are so many men who are willing to just throw money at these women just for their sex appeal. And some of these men are so lonely that they'll actually have conversations with these duds over the internet, right? Typing in chat. Oh, yeah, girl, how was your day? And she's, and the bitch will be naked, chatting and shit on these things. They're going to be like, how you know this? Because I know, all right? I don't be doing it. But come on now. I know you haven't seen it. Anyway. It's a shame, man. So women think that, there's a lot of women out here that is just like, of course, men want me, right? But it's not for the reasons that they try to pretend that it actually is. So anyway, whatever. That's my time. Until next time, peace out.